That's my baby.
I'm dying.
That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored!
They did it!
Left, feet left.
What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah!
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yo, what's up, everybody? Long time no see. Kicking it stateside, back again after a month hiatus of life smashing everything right in the face.
It's awesome.
No time to talk any soccer.
You got
Life
a
as we
two-man
know it is
show,
back.
and both men literally have the complete opposite schedules. It really made it difficult to try to put anything together, but I think we're going to find something here that's going to work for us, and I think you're going to be joining us on weekdays from now on.
Yeah, the weekday market seems to be it. But yeah, we're just glad to be back. We got an hour for you today, maybe a little over, depending. Again, with work, my nights have been now dedicated to an actual job, so this is why there's going to be issues. And Brian, I know, has his stuff sometimes at night too, so yeah, it's a little crazy, but it is what it is. We're here. We're ready for you. We got a lot to talk about here in the next hour or so. A lot to catch you guys up on. Obviously, the Prem, most leagues have ended already. We have a lot of new faces as champions this year, actually, in their respective leagues. We have an Inter Milan winning Serie A for the first time in forever. We have someone actually knocking off PSG out of the League
Big
One.
ups to Lille.
Lille coming in there, doing their thing, winning the league.
Led by two solid CONCACAF players.
Yeah, the North
Timothy Way
American
and Jonathan David.
Yeah. Insane effort by Lille to upstage a PSG squad that is full of just obviously money, great talent. Again, I think they've won like 8 or 9 before in a row before this. So props to Lille for coming in hot, winning the league in the French league. Obviously in the Prem, Man City, that's no surprise. That's kind of the same as we've been seeing as a trend the past, what is this, their 3rd in 4 years or something like that?
Yeah.
So that's new.
Atletico with a big win. And
yeah, you see that.
Spanish league.
Yeah, in La Liga, you get Atletico beating the top dogs there and, over Barcelona and the Real Madrids of the world.
Barca made a late run. They made it competitive late in the season there, but they held on. That was nice to see. I like that Atletico team.
We're dying for the parity. I know we've talked about it a lot this year, and even since we've started the show, that some of these leagues have become stale and just very boring because the same teams tend to win year after year. Well, this year you got a little taste of something different, obviously, with a lot of these bigger clubs ending their 8-year runs, 9-year runs. Obviously, Bayern still winning the German Bundesliga, which is no surprise, and really Man City. But other than that, it's been pretty crazy. A lot of parity. Also, while we were gone, we had the completion. The Champions League, we have reached a final, which will be played on Saturday afternoon at 3. We got an all-English final. We got Chelsea versus Man City in the Champions League final. Kind of get some reaction to that, a little preview of what we think will happen. Small little talk maybe about, how they got there. Obviously, with City, this is rolling into our poll question today. With Man City winning League Cup, they won the league. Can they get that trifecta of winning the Champions League with the 3 trophies in one season? Do you agree or disagree? Obviously, on my end, I'm going to say disagree because as a Chelsea stan, I can't support that. And I got to get it's like the complete opposite. It's like Chelsea need to actually win a trophy because they've had shot at
I almost made that the question, too. I was torn. Was it going to be, will Chelsea actually get one of these trophies that they've had opportunity to win this year that they've obviously fallen short of, or is City going for number 3 with the Carabao and the league and now Champions League? So I don't know where I'm at still, to be honest with you. I'm obviously I like to troll you and Eddie, so there's that, but as far as rooting for City and for City to complete the trifecta and for them to finally say they won a Champions League, I don't think I can do that.
It's.
I got to stay off that. I gotta stick with London. I gotta stick with Chelsea. I think in this one, I'm going to disagree that City's going to win the trifecta, and I think you're going to have a whole lot of other supporters jumping as hard as it is for most of these teams to say on the Chelsea bandwagon for this Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think as a neutral fan, I know talking to a lot of the Liverpool people that we have that come on the show, obviously with Lord Walker and chatting it up with Eric, who are both Liverpool fans. I'm guessing they are going to be rooting for Chelsea and not City to win the trifecta here. But that's just a hunch. I don't know.
Yeah, Lord Walker has joined us, so we can find out from him. Ritter, Ritter's going City, of course. No surprise. Probably just to troll you.
It could be. It's been a while. I love the trolling. Bring it on. Bring it on, damn it. It's been too long since I've trolled or been trolled, so.
I know. I miss everybody. Again, welcome back to everybody. A2D Radio, great show, sponsored by our boy, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy. It's that time of the year. You've already probably been going to them because your kid's been playing sports. You were getting ready for the gym, getting in that shape. So probably hurt something here and there. But if not, make sure you see him. We always talk about it. He is there for you. Way less video consult needed nowadays. It sounds like we're getting back to some normalcy. Thank God. Pop in the office. Cherry Hill. Burlington?
Yep.
It's been a while. No more Princeton.
No.
So, but definitely go see the good doctor. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's good to be back. We're trying to figure out some normalcy again, but with normalcy comes actually starting to go full-time working again. So comes with the territory of being back to normal also becomes schedules and trying to fit in the show, and life starts up again. So we'll make it work, and it's a good day to start today because we do have the Champions League final, which will be on Saturday. That kind of pretty much is the end all, pretty much for the soccer domestic season, and then we're basically rolling right into the Euros here in I think 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're about 2 weeks away.
June 11th is the first game. I think it's like Turkey versus Italy or something like that.
And obviously, too, we do have MLS and the Mexican League still playing. If you're getting that itch and you really need to watch some games, there will be that going on. Your union seems to be bounced back.
Yeah, starting to right the ship a little bit. I think with the busy schedule of the CONCACAF Champions League and then playing a game on the weekend, it's a lot. And I think they're
still the only American team left, though.
Yeah, and they were putting a lot into that tournament to try and win it, and maybe the league efforts have suffered, but they've seemed to right the ship, and I think they're sitting in third. And I wouldn't expect anything less of them to finish probably top 3. The way that the league looks so far, it seems like the East is the typical East. It's going to be a jumbled up mess. With teams that probably shouldn't be in the playoffs come the end of the season fighting for those last spots. So, So far so good. I can't really complain. And again, I think unions start doing the full capacity in June. So hopefully we'll try and get out there for a game. And
I know I wanted to get to that Union Red Bull game. I was hoping to get to that Union Red Bull game, but you were away and it just wasn't going to work out yet. So we'll have to wait till the next wave of games.
Yeah, we'll figure that out, and we'll try and what we wanted to do all the way back in, I guess, like April, when we were supposed to have that NBC Sports watch party and, get everybody together and have some of our fans come in and, hang out and get to meet everybody face to face, obviously. Then COVID hit, so we couldn't do that, but I wouldn't even mind doing that for a Union game or something. Just having a big tailgate.
Little show in the parking lot of PS or whatever, that Subaru Park now?
Subaru Park these days, yeah.
Subaru Park. So.
But yeah, a lot of exciting things again. I guess one more thing, if those people that actually care, we concluded obviously with the Premier League season, our first ever Kickin at Stateside Fantasy League has concluded.
Yes.
And congrats to, of course, my father, Kevin, who finished in first place with almost Man City type numbers, winning the league by 9 points over myself. Yeah, coming up in second, and I believe Brian was in third. So
I guess we're not relegated, which is great in our own first year of our own league.
We're getting Champions League spots, so that's good.
Good. We'll put that prize pack together for Pops. And we'll get rolling early this year, so everybody that wants to get in this year can actually get in, and maybe we can do the 2-league formation.
It's like I understand like a fantasy, it's a lot because it's every week, and especially this year with the jam-packed schedule, like it was a little chaos. Yeah. Like I admit, and some people didn't pay attention, and
yeah,
it is what it is.
I stopped paying attention towards the end. I was just fortunate enough to have a strong enough team to win a few games.
Trust me, I was about to pack it in about 10 weeks in.
Yeah. I was ready when Van Dijk got his knee blown out, and I pretty much thought I was done. So my number one pick.
I understand. It's a frustrating thing, but, again, we'll try to open that up as soon as the Premier League website lets us start drawing people into the league and, have people that want to, gauge interest. If there's people from last year that's just not that into it, then that's okay. We'll figure it all out. But, just want to give a shout out to my dad, of course, winning the first ever Kickin at Stateside Premier League Fantasy League. So good for him. We'll give a nice little prize for that.
Oh, yeah. What up, Daly? What up? Daly says he agrees to the poll because he's just here to agree. So
he's going with the evil empire.
Like, if I had to put money out, I would probably agree to the poll. But like I said, I think it's more of a spite thing that I can't root for this. I don't see that.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I don't want to see if. Sitting from a neutral fan position, if I really had to put my money on it, I would probably lean towards City as well, but I don't exactly know what those odds are at this current time. I would just like to win at least a trophy out of this chaotic year of starting out with Frank Lampard at the helm, and that seemed to not be headed in the right direction, and then you bring in this guy who has a complete different style of coaching as the other gentleman. And obviously there was some push back, and his coaching style in the beginning rubbed some people, myself, the wrong way. But getting results, getting to the final. I don't really know. 2 finals. I don't really know how you could really complain. So we'll see.
I was gonna say, was Frank Lampard was coach this year? It seems like seems like a lifetime ago. I know. It just seems like
long drawn out season.
What an interesting ride you guys had this season. I was reading.
Hey, you
that.
know what? He's not going anywhere. I don't really care. He's boring, but
he's getting his full 18 months. We could definitely say that. I don't see him not getting at least the full 18 after what
I think that'd be unfair.
What they've accomplished.
Again, it's Roman just does what he wants, and if after the 18 months is up and they start next season terribly, who's to say he won't can him? I don't know.
Well, you'll probably have a whole bunch of more moving parts again, because I have a feeling that checkbook's going to open right back up this summer.
I said that. Harry Kane to West London.
Yeah, where's our names? Did you kill our names? Oh, there they are. Fuck Harry Kane. Right.
What a season. What a season, though. What a season.
Yeah, Harry Kane.
Leads the league with assists and goals.
Criminal.
And second place in fantasy. I rode his coattails all the way to the end.
And Tottenham still didn't finish in Europe either, so.
No. Well, that's not surprising, because now they're probably going to bring Pochettino back. Like, what a clown show.
Yeah. Actually, they did. I'm sorry. 7th place is Europe now. It's the Europa Conference League qualifying.
Oh, God, yeah.
The Europa Conference League. It's not Europa League. It's the Europa Conference League. They added one because I guess they felt they needed more competitions.
There's never not enough competitions in this. Everybody's got to have a piece of the prize in some way, right?
Yeah, everybody wants that extra buck, I guess. So whatever.
I get it, but
Speaking of, there is one other competition as well, which we can't leave out because it's imperative to the league that we do follow, and that is Saturday morning at 10 a.m. before this game. Start your day off with the English Championship, and that will be Brentford against Swansea. So our boy Daryl Dike could not pull anything off for Barnsley and advance them past Swansea. But Swansea's a good story in its own. I know Jordan Morris is not able to play due to injury, but they also have some other American blood on that squad, so they're an interesting team. And Brentford, who, the team that's been to this playoff final, 6 times now, and has never made it to the Premier League. So, you want to watch a really what should be some kind of entertaining, exciting match. That's definitely one to watch. Most people that are big underdogs, I would guess they just root for Brentford, so you could finally see them step foot into the Prem. I don't know.
Yeah, Brentford has been in the league playoffs here for the last at least 4 seasons, and they just cannot get over that hump. They either, get knocked out in the first leg, in that semifinal game where they're supposed to be the ones that get through the final, or they get there like last year and then get upset by Fulham having a game and a half. So is this the year that Brentford gets over that hump? History says... I
was going to make that a poll question. Yeah, history says no, but history also says sooner or later, I guess. Math would tell you, percentage-wise, they got to get one of these, right?
It'd be brutal if they didn't. Not just only for the fans, but, man, that's... To just be there every season, and, that's hard enough to get into the top 6 of the championship. But to get, into a position, into the finals, two years back to back, that you can just taste the Premier League and you fall short, that would just be brutal.
And I think last year they were actually in second for a while, weren't they? And then they fell into that tournament late, and then they were the favorite. They ended up third, and ended up losing the tournament. They were the favorite to get promoted. So, we'll see. I'm gonna root for them. Like I was telling everybody when we had the group text, if Barnsley would have made it, I had to root for DK and them. But since they're Barnsley, they go way back to the first days of this show.
My accidental calling Burnley Barnsley.
Yeah, and forever fell in love with Barnsley. So,
well, I mean, ever since Barnsley got DK, they skyrocketed up the table and somehow got into the top 6.
It's going to be interesting to see where he goes.
Yeah, I don't know with Barnsley not making it to the final. I mean, I don't know what that does for his future, he's still Orlando's property. So the loan's just at completion. So, but I don't foresee him returning to Orlando. I think that would be. There's no way, because he's the hottest commodity right now for young strikers. So, Orlando's going to get a pretty penny for him, no matter what. But will they hold out and be greedy and hold out for a high bid? We'll see. But yeah, I would enjoy seeing either Brentford or Swansea up in the Prem again.
It can't be upset either way. Definitely can't be upset either way.
But again, I don't think that either of those teams will have a season like Leeds did, where you're finishing almost top 10.
They did get top 10. They finished top 10.
Yeah. So
inside top 10. Yeah.
So and the other two teams, like we said, we're going to see Norwich up in the Prem next season again. We're going to see a freaking Watford again, unfortunately. And then one of these two teams that wins. It'd be fun to get a Swansea, get the Welsh side back in there. But Brentford, you can't complain. That'd be a great story of so many failures, and then all of a sudden they finally catch in and get to the top flight. So we'll see. Saturday. Go for it.
Yeah. No, I was reading Lord Walker's thing here. The top one where he's talking about Harry Kane, reason you'll be watching Spurs in Europe, and Arsenal can contemplate 20 years of talking about, if you saw an Arsenal fan rooting for Spurs to win that game, then you can't call them an Arsenal fan. So that's all I'm going to say to that. You can pass that on to whatever Arsenal fan you saw rooting for Spurs in that game, because I was not rooting for Spurs in that game. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know why any Arsenal fan, no matter what the situation is, even if it's moving you back into the top 4 somehow, I still don't think you root for Spurs in a game. So, and Tommy, thank you. We're glad to be back. And you're definitely not wrong for agreeing to the poll.
It's not It's. You hear Man City, no matter if you're familiar and follow the league or soccer in general, you just hear that name and you're just like, yeah, they're probably going to win.
Yeah.
Especially after the year they've done.
Quick backstory on Man City, as quick as possible. Just so like guys like Tommy and the other guys that may not be aware know. About 20 years ago, Man City was like a third-tier English league team. Just average, not a good soccer club. Obviously, United was the big boy for many, 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 many years now. And then some really rich guy came in and bought City. And, yeah, here we are 20 years later.
Here we are.
Money. And that's why they are referred to as the Evil Empire. They are connected with NYCFC. They are connected with the New York Yankees. So the rich get richer, and they just seem to be just running away with things of late. We need other teams to step in. It's good to see Chelsea compete. I mean, obviously Liverpool now in the last couple of years came back with a vengeance and really started giving these guys a run for their money. But, you know, it's nice to see, like you said, some parity. We've been asking for parity. The league's better with parity. All the leagues are better with parity.
What's up, Pete?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yes, back again after hiatus, but we're here. Champions League finals Saturday. Yeah, for the Liverpool comment, like I do agree. I think with Lord Walker, I don't think if Van Dijk and Joe Gomez get hurt for as long as they did, I think they actually compete for the title. I can't knock that. I can't. I've trolled Liverpool enough this season, but I can't go that far and say like they wouldn't be very competitive if those two, you know, actually stay healthy. We could be in a different story. Who knows? But that's a lot of ifs.
Yeah, ifs and buts are
ifs and buts are never good. Which that's the only that's the only gripe I have with Liverpool fans. It's a lot of ifs and buts. You know, we could say that about a lot of things, but
I was going to say, yeah, if Aubameyang put in the 22 goals he put in the year before, Arsenal probably finishes in the top 5 at least. So, just didn't happen, unfortunately. It was a bad year.
Just a shit unlucky season for Liverpool.
We all have bad years, except this year at least finish on some positive notes. And everybody, get your votes in. Vote my man Nico Pepe for English Premier League Player of the Month in the month of May. Pretty solid season for a guy that has been called out repeatedly, put on the hot seat repeatedly at 25 years of age, never really given an opportunity to grow in the Premier League yet. He finally has, finishes with 10 goals in the Premier League season, puts an additional 6 in Europa, 16-goal season. He only started 16 games in the Prem out of the 29 that he showed up in. So 13 of those were subs. To score 10 in that on a bad offensive Arsenal team, I feel like at least I have some bright spot that I can be happy about.
It's really actually a very good quiet season for him. It wasn't the flash that you would expect, but I mean, for those amount of goals, like I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah.
I
knew it was coming. It was a matter of time. When he was at Lille the year before he came to Arsenal, he led the entire, the top 5 leagues in Europe in game-winning, basically goals that led to points. So either a game-tying goal that allowed Lille to get a point or a game-winning goal that allowed them to get 3 points. He came in as a very, everybody complains about the money he got. He earned that money for a reason. Was it a little high? Was it typical Arsenal? Probably overspent because they didn't even want to have to compete with teams like Chelsea and City and have to worry about a back and forth and somebody slipping in the back door and overpaying just because they can. Yeah, it's kind of been Arsenal's MO lately, unfortunately. They don't want to negotiate. They just kind of go top dog right off the jump if they want somebody, which may or may not be the best result. And like I've told many people, and and Lord Walker knows, and a lot of guys know, African footballers' first experiences in the Prem, especially offensively, guys who are more offensive, not defensive, it's not always pretty when they first get there. It takes a little bit of time. So I think he's kind of figured some things out now. I think we're ready to rock, and it's a nice piece going forward into next season. So vote for Nico. Month of May.
It is. It's a good step in the right direction for him. Hopefully he'll pick it up for next season, and maybe he'll double that. You never know.
Adam and I are both campaigning today. He's campaigning for Harry Kane, and I'm campaigning just for my guy to get some award so we can have something to celebrate this season.
It's like
the closest thing we have.
Can we do a swap with Spurs? We'll give you Timo, and we'll take Harry Kane. How about that,
dude? It's legit being talked about. I've seen Timo and Tammy, which I thought was not. I think that's dumb. But I saw Timo and I forget who the other piece was, but like I looked at it and I'm like, you know what? That kind of makes sense. So you could see, I think more and more trading, they keep talking about it, the way these markets are going and the salaries these guys have and the contracts they give and the money these teams give up just to talk to a guy and entertain bringing him in. I think it's going to start making more sense to see some player swapping along with money, just like you do in FIFA. You know how everything goes that way. Like they glorify it when you play season mode in FIFA. You have that player swap ability, and you can take such advantage of it. And then I think guys see this shit in real life, and they're like, can we start doing this? It's like I'm teaching these 7-year-olds to play, and you get the ones that play FIFA because they come out and they're square button all game. They're sliding at kids' legs. I'm like, dude, you can't slide tackle at 7 years old. Like,
yeah,
you don't even know what you're doing. You're just falling on the ground, flopping. Like I was like, stop hitting square, dude. Just
aggressive. It's aggressive move.
Yeah. But hi, Tori. Thanks for joining us. And she did promise me. When she gets back from whatever hot girl summer thing she's doing this year, that she will join us at that game that we picked, Adam. So she will be there.
Did she actually say that? Because I don't believe that for one.
Oh, that's actual facts. I was going to get her to go to that Red Bull Union game with me, but she was out of town just like you. So I have confirmation that she will come to a game with us. Probably just for the alcohol and the publicity, but that's fine. I'm okay with it.
Say less. Hey,
I'm sure that's why Tommy's going to come. I'm sure that's why all these guys are going to come.
I was going to say, I'm with Tommy. I'm not believing that until I see her physically in the parking lot of Lot C at Subaru Park.
All right, we're going to make that happen. Tommy will be there. Tori will be there. If we can get Wilson in there, then we've achieved.
Oh my God. We'd come full circle getting the Willie. Yeah,
we're on some Elon Musk shit if we can get him there, because that would just be.
I need a screenshot of this as well, because I'm finding it very hard to believe her soccer slander would make her go to an actual game after just coming in the comments saying soccer sucks and then bouncing right out.
Beer and a bunch of dudes in shape. Come on.
She only likes the ugly dudes like Jimmy Butler. J-Butt, yes.
Yeah, we don't. The Union doesn't have any quitters on the team. So.
We got no quitters. We got all heart, baby. How about a real man? Ali Bador.
We're bringing the whole squad. I'll be the only guy there rooting for not the Union, probably, because I'm sure all you Philly boys are going to jump on the Union, but that's okay. I'll bring the drum. I'll drum.
It's a fun time, I'm telling you. People don't realize it until they actually go.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's going to happen. And we'll see if Tori puts her money where her mouth is. And actually,
all right, I'll schedule Hunt coming up, and we'll figure something out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we kind of talked about who won some of the respective leagues in the beginning. Obviously,
sorry. I realized right as you said that we literally have absolutely played out Villarreal and not even recognized the fact that they are now the smallest city to ever win Europa.
Yeah.
And come in and beat the big boys of one of the big boys of Europe and one of the big boys of English football. In a really good, hard-fought match, went down to PKs. David De Gea makes another David De Gea type move, and it's probably the last one you'll ever see him make for Manchester United. And Villarreal and Unai Emery. Congratulations.
Good job.
First of all,
Vampire wins again.
If we can totally go back, any shade that I've ever thrown at Unai Emery is only because he wasn't here anymore. Because you know for a fact that I supported that man, and I gave him like so much, and it's just clear. It's clear that Arsenal, just like the baseball team in Philadelphia, it's an organizational problem that Arsenal's having. Yeah, it's not necessarily been a coaching problem, because that's clear cut when he hops right over to there, and with limited resources takes a. I mean, it's a good team. There's good players on that team.
Yeah.
But they definitely went on a nice run and overachieved a little bit. And congratulations to them on a Europa League title. I'd rather have seen them than United anyway. So.
Yeah, I think it's the town in Spain is like as big as Bend, Oregon. I saw. It's like a very very small city in Spain, and I mean, again, the final was very underwhelming, like most finals are. Both teams are trying to feel each other out and not make a mistake. So, of course, you go 1-1 into the extra time, then take it into PKs, and then even PKs last like 12, 13 rounds, and then they get to the goalies of all things, and it's goalie-on-goalie crime, and it's unfortunate. I mean, it's tough for a goalie to step up there. I feel for De Gea. I don't say that often. I'm not like a huge David De Gea fan, but that's tough to be in. Like, game on the line, you're stepping up to take a PK, not save one. After you just saw your boy, get your goalie that you're going against scores on you, and then you have to step up and beat him as well. That's tough. That's like total mind fuck. So.
I'm sure Lord Walker would say Allison would have handled it no problem, right? But he would have had to kick it, not head it. So
greatest goal ever in time history.
Yeah, before he comes in with that one, I was waiting. I was waiting for him to say something about something.
It's true. I mean, Man U shit the bed, and it is what it is.
Okay.
It happens.
I mean, they're still whether they won that or not, they were going back to Champions League. So it's nice for Villarreal too to, get them a bump where they wouldn't have seen.
Yeah, it's you can't front. I mean, Villarreal has some like old, not rejects players, but your Paco Alcázars and Moreno. Interesting team. Albiol, the old man, even was in there.
Segue City, as we always do, too. One thing, I mean, there's so much because we've been gone for so long and so much has happened. But when you said Paco, made me think of Dortmund, and congratulations to Dortmund stepping their game up and keeping their ass up in Champions League, because it really didn't look that way the last time you and I did a show, my friend.
No, this last month they really stepped up when they needed to and put the pedal to the metal, and they win a trophy, they win the German Cup, which is great, and then they finish the season strong, beat some teams that were ahead of them in some big matches, and I mean, what can you say? Erling Haaland is just an absolute monster.
Yeah. But you know what? It's good to see a guy like Erling Haaland and a Jadon Sancho, guys who most likely come after this summer won't be wearing that uniform next year, still show that kind of heart and that respect for the club that they're playing with, and continue to fight in a really tough season and help that team stay where I mean, in all actuality, where it should be. Like, Dortmund's one of those teams that should probably be coming out of the Bundesliga every year in Champions League. The world's a little bit better when Dortmund is a competitive team. It's nice to see, not just a feeder team for my boys. So,
yeah, they just had spurts in the season where they were just not very good, and it cost them in the end to not challenge for the title. But
and defensive struggles, but
you fire your coach and you bring in this guy that's really never coached at like a senior level, and you win a trophy and you finish top 3 after
Yeah.
you finish quarterfinals in the Champions League. It's not all terrible, but I think with that roster, it could have been way, way better. Which is sad to say, because saying you underachieved after that season and the accomplishment, were the expectations that high where you expect challenge for the league, winning cups, challenging for Champions League might have been my own high expectations. That
I think Erling Haaland kind of pushed those expectations just because we started to realize how good he is.
Yeah.
And when you have a guy that good and that young, it's like you kind of expect a lot from a whole team, which probably isn't fair, but
and when you get retread guys that are on the downslide in defense, like Matt.
When you have Emery Can starting at center back, I know.
Thomas Meunier, maybe a few years ago would have been fantastic, but
got Mats Hummels back on the German team for Euros, though. He got the call for the.
And Emery got called up too. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I know.
Doesn't make sense, but yeah.
I'm not. They're going to be hard to watch, I think, in Euros. Personally, I'm gonna have to find somebody. You know my German football love, but I'm gonna have to look elsewhere. I think this Euros.
I mean, Jurgi Löw he's coaching them out of the Euros, and then he's done.
I believe so. Yeah, I believe he's still finishing through the
competition.
Euros, and then this is it. So I don't know. Maybe they get that they brought Thomas Müller back. He's bringing veterans in. I get it. It's a weird competition because it's 2020 competition. Don't be confused, people, when you see it on your TV in 2 weeks. It's not a replay. These are live games. I had to argue. And again, another thing to talk about, super fast. I had to argue the other day with my stepdad. I'm watching the national championship of men's college soccer, and it says men's national championship 2020. And he's like, is this game live? What are we watching? And I'm like, yeah, it's live. I'm watching this championship. And he's like, it says 2020 right there. I'm like, because they never played it. I'm like, that's why.
Yeah.
So Marshall, congratulations, Marshall. That's where I was getting. One of the hugest upsets in college soccer history. They ran through 3 powerhouses in Clemson, last year's champion Georgetown, and perennial powerhouse and 6-time champion Indiana.
Yeah,
to beat them in extra time on an incredible goal. So that was really cool to watch, and just another thing that kind of a little bonus we got to pick up because of the way the world went. I was flipping through the TV. I didn't even realize it was on. I'm like, hold on, is this real? Is this live? And threw it on and got a great game. So big ups to Marshall on that one.
Yeah, that's kind of it was one of those that obviously with COVID they didn't play the men's soccer season from 2020, so they had to fit it in. And congrats to Marshall. I'm not a huge Marshall person, being from West Virginia and rooting for
True.
the in-state rivalry, but got to give props where props are due. And I'm actually very happy going back to the Bundesliga because Schalke got relegated, so bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That means Saeed's coming back from loan, and they own Mustafi, so that's their problem. Actually, I think that contract's done this summer anyway. Who knows where he'll end up.
That's tough. That's a tough pill to swallow with that club and the passion they got up there. And
just don't get upset when he's in that black and yellow, because that's the perfect. Come on, but it is aging German defender.
I just don't want to see it.
Yeah.
I can't take it.
No, I'd feel really bad for you if that happens.
Hopefully we've not come to that point where that happens.
Yeah.
I saw something else before we kind of hit the Champions League final for the last time. I know the U.S. team actually is going to have a friendly here coming up.
Yes. That is.
I think it's this weekend, right? Yeah, Sunday.
6-3. Is that Sunday? Or is there something before that? Yeah. The Switzerland game.
Yeah, they're playing Switzerland.
The Switzerland game. We forgot that it's because it's been a month since the last one we played. This is big. Damn. Holy shit, dude. We've had so much. Yeah, like this game right here. You want to watch a game and you want to test the waters for where we're at. This is a big game because this is Switzerland's last tune-up before Euros, and this is our last tune-up before Nations League, the semis. So. Because we have a Nations League game on 6-3. That's on 6-3 against Honduras.
Yes, it's a busy summer as far as international play is going. For obviously the Euros are coming up in 2 weeks, and then you got the U.S. men's national team. Pretty sure the Gold Cup's this summer as well at some point. Nations League, obviously. And then I think in September we're starting up World Cup qualifying already for 2022. That's
crazy.
It's rampant and rolling up. And again, like Brian said, a good challenge against Swiss's A team basically to see where we're at. It was a good squad that Berhalter called up. I mean, it was a good mix of guys that you're probably going to see a lot of in the future, and some guys giving a shot.
A couple MLS guys, but he stayed pretty strong with Europe. Your boy Aronson made it, so that was good to see.
Yeah, Aronson McKenzie had really good first seasons in Europe, and they get a I mean, I don't think Aronson could have had a better season over in Salzburg. I think he had like 7 goals, 7 assists in 20 games, and he won a Austrian Cup, and I think they won the league too. So,
yeah, I guess the only omission that I'm frustrated with, and is DK, and there could be a reason why. I don't know. Maybe just so much play late there for Barnsley, and they kind of see. Maybe they know what they kind of have in him now at this point. There's other guys they want to take a look at, but I would have liked to see him on this squad. Other than that, I'm not too upset with the roster.
No, I think maybe just like the amount of play he was getting over the last like 2 months or so, and then probably going. I would assume he's probably going to be on the CONCACAF, the Gold Cup squad. I would assume. So maybe giving him a little bit of a rest before that starts up.
Let's hope so. It's our best.
I feel like that's going to be heavy MLS for the Gold Cup team that is going to draw away some players from the MLS. But that happens every time the Gold Cup arises, where you're going to lose your top players in the league, which I think they actually do go on a month break, the MLS, for the Gold Cup usually. So
because I think now too you have so many guys from some of the other countries, Argentina, Mexico, Costa Rica, then just to name a few, that you'd be pretty depleted continuing to play there. So I think there is a break coming up when that does happen.
Yeah, it's again, it's hard to get so many, talk about all these things that we've missed over the last month in an hour. So
we're just so everybody knows before we
today.
we get into our last 10-minute stretch here. It looks like going forward we're gonna try again. We talked about schedules being tough. Adam and I talked, and our goal is to try and do an hour twice a week instead of 2 hours in one day. Try to maybe split it up during the week where it makes sense, especially with the way these teams play, and just split it into an hour each way. But we will let everybody know as soon as possible. Doing our best to just keep things rolling here while we get acclimated to our new lives.
Yeah, we're just trying to. It felt like today was a good opportunity to get a show in. Obviously, with the Champions League final coming up Saturday, and the championship promotion final coming up, that really ties into the Premier League and which team we're going to see next season. And then it kind of gets into that period of Euro talk. I'm sure our next show will kind of preview what that'll be, mostly a Euro show for the most part, and any recap of the Champions League final, also the recap of the Championship promotion final. But this summer is going to be heavy international talk and heavy with, I guess, any transfer news. Other than that, usually the summer is kind of like the dull period where you're trying to, and last summer we really didn't have much of a dull period anyway because COVID, so we didn't do any shows. So we kind of missed that whole boat because there's really nothing to talk about in that time. So yeah, this summer definitely a lot of international talk. A lot of prep for the U.S. World Cup qualifying going forward. I think starting in September or October, I think the boys are going to get going. It's going to be a tough battle. We've seen how we perform against Mexico, which is the top. We have to beat some of these teams that we're supposed to beat. The Hondurases of the world we have to compete with. We have to compete with Costa Rica. Yes, we dismantled a Jamaica B team, but we're going to see the A team. We're going to see Mikel Antonio. Yeah. We're going to see some of these, Leroy Sané maybe, hopefully, in a Jamaica uniform again. Or not Sané, Leon Bailey, sorry.
Yeah.
I was thinking of a speedy winger. Leon Bailey of the world. So it's going to be tough. These nations we're not the only country that are improving our style of soccer and the pipeline.
Plus that's most of these guys, this is their sport. This is number one. That's some of them maybe baseball too, but it's like this is it. So it's like we got to come with our best every time. We talk about that. These guys are bringing their best every time. They plan to win every time. We need that same mentality. Yeah. We need that same fire from our guys. So. And everybody in the world and in at least CONCACAF region constantly hears about how the U.S. is producing, players, and all their players are going to Europe now. They know that. They're reading it, and they're going to come with our bet. We basically are going to have a target on our back to try and qualify for the World Cup. Because, again, it's literally just the fact that we didn't qualify for the Olympics again. So, of course, the countries are going to be like, well, they're this hyped country, but they still can't qualify for a big tournament. They still got to go on the field and prove it. We got the roster to do it. We just got to go out there and put our heads down and do this damn thing. Failing to qualify for the World Cup for coming up is just another epic failure and will not be tolerated. Yeah, no.
Not with this roster we have.
Cannot happen. Cannot happen. Not anymore. Hey, what a compliment too, by the way. Eric, first of all, thank you, brother, for joining us.
What's up, Eric?
Slim Reaper, brother. Thank you, man. Called us goats. And yeah, we need more than that. We need more subscribers. Subscribe, all of it. Let's go. We keep telling everybody. Share, subscribe. Whatever you got to do, we really appreciate it. To all the great shows on A2D.
We always say this, and it's I know a lot of people are afraid to maybe talk about if you're hanging out with your friends or just talking with your friends. Soccer isn't always the topic of conversation because some people are afraid to even bring it up. But you find out that people actually, once, even example, starting this new job, you just start bringing it up. And then people 7, 8, 9, 10 other people are like, oh shit, I'm a Chelsea fan too, or I'm a Man United fan, or I'm an Arsenal, I'm a Tottenham fan. It just takes that one person to be like, hey, there's a pretty cool show on A2D radio that's a soccer show, and they talk about the stuff like we want to listen to and what we want to talk about, and none of my friends barely even talk about soccer. Or me and another guy, we don't have our friends. They don't give a shit about it. So we're just like talking amongst ourselves when you can come here to our lovely Kickin' It Stateside bubble of love.
Our bubble of love. It is a bubble of love here.
Our comfort level over here.
Unless you're a Spurs supporter.
That's true.
Or
Cincinnati.
Yeah, or a Cincinnati supporter. I think I picked the game. How do you feel about a Wednesday night in September? How do you feel about a second leg in a Champions League game as the game we go to?
Oh, that Club America game?
That's home.
Yeah.
That's home in Philly. I'll throw a Union kit on. I don't care. I'll go Union all day on that one. Just so I could be part of
the second leg of a semifinal in that.
I mean, clearly the first leg could matter before we make that decision, because if they get blown out down in Club America, maybe that's not a game you really want to go to. But I don't think that's going to happen. I feel like they're going to compete with this Club America team. I feel like that'd be a really good game, because Red Bull does not come back to Philly until September 29th. That's also a Wednesday night. So, and I don't think we're going to get the whole squad up to Red Bull Arena. I think that would be a tough sell on July 8th. That's the only other time. So we'll look towards those September dates. One of those two, I think that's what we'll make happen. But
yeah, for sure. Again, we'll get there. We're trying to figure out, a good time to get everybody together now that, things are starting to some sense of normalcy where we can be around people actually and conversate and have some fun and actually meet up with some of the A2D guys. I don't even think I've met some of the guys in person since starting this damn show on A2D. So,
dude, I joined the Arsenal fan club based out of Philadelphia that meets at a bar in Philly for every Arsenal game, and yet have been able to meet one guy in person, yet to be able to go sit down with these guys and watch a game. So hopefully that invite opens up once next season starts. But yeah, man, it'd be good for everybody to get together and just be normal again, man.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say, because I know I'll get myself in trouble. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Oh my god!
Leave it right there. So we got a couple minutes left. Let's talk about it. Your boys did it. They, it was like you said in the beginning of the show, man. It was a freaking weird season. We go back to Boxing Day to where Arsenal runs over you, and next thing you know, Frank Lampard's gone before New Year's.
Yep.
And you bring in Tom Tuchel, the boring whatever, and you can say what you want about the guy, like you mentioned prior, but they just went on a run. It was a bunch of 1-0, 1-1, 2-1 games, but they picked up points. They worked their way back up to the top four, although it got a little dicey late in the Prem side, but they put the focus also in the Champions League. They found the balance. And you guys are sitting in the finals. I mean, that's a pretty good. That's a way better year than I had. Put it that way.
Yeah, it's just. I think if we didn't get to the FA Cup final and lose, I think this game was kind of like more pressure on you, City than anything. But now it shifts. Now that Chelsea lost in the FA Cup to Leicester, it kind of puts the pressure on Chelsea because, I mean, you don't want to go 0 for 2 in cup matches in one season. So, unfortunately, the pressure is on Chelsea, I think, to win because if City lose, it's like, oh well, we won the league and we won the cup. We won the League Cup, and still a great season. Yeah. But if Chelsea go 0 for 2 in big cup games, then you're kind of like, well, this season was kind of shitty in some way, and We got nothing. It was a decent season with nothing to show for it, and that's never a good thing. But I don't know. I still have faith in the guys. I think that it just, for some reason, by the grace of God, hoping that Timo Werner scores and just totally redeems himself for an absolute shit start to his Chelsea and hopefully Premier League career, because that man, I think I could finish better than this man has this year.
I mean, this could be his last game.
We don't know what's going on with him.
It's so weird to even like think that, but like I mean it could be. I don't necessarily agree with that. You hear it all the time already now in the like, oh, this could be, are they going to move on from him and go get your boy Harry Kane? Or even if they go get Harry Kane, does it mean they have to move on from Werner, or is it going to be somebody else that they move on from? I think some of it may depend on what happens in this game, too. Some guys go out when they go out on top. Some guys want that second opportunity to come back and try again. I think one advantage you guys have is it's one game. You know what I mean? Like, the nice thing about Champions League final is after all this and you went through all the group stages and you played everybody twice, and then you go through all the knockout stages and you're playing everybody in two legs. Like, this is sports, man. This is Super Bowl. This is one game. That's all you got to do. You got to play your best game one day and hope somebody doesn't. And you know, I think with the talent that this Chelsea team has, they have as good a chance as anybody to beat this City team. I know Lord Walker will say they have, you know, no offense, which is funny because before Frank left, that's all they had was offense. They had no defense. Mm-hmm. So me personally, I'm a guy who would rather have some defense and be able to stop all that firepower that City has and hope to maybe catch them on a counter or catch them on a set piece or something like that and get out of there and be a champion with a 1-0 win. I'm okay with that. Sure. I don't need a 5-3 win or a 4-1 stomping to feel like a champion. I'll take a 1-0 win all day and walk out of there with my head held high. So that's going to be the recipe. Chelsea's got to play. It might not be the most exciting Champions League game. It might be. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to get. But I think if you're Chelsea, you don't care. You hold up that trophy. It doesn't matter how you got there.
True. Yeah, you know, Lord, I'm just trying to speak it into existence, man. We talked about this before throughout the season. You speak the good things into existence. Sometimes they happen.
Yeah.
You know what? By some higher power, I hope he does find the back of the net because he's had a tough first year.
I hope Christian Pulisic finds the back of the net and then gets a nice phone call from Madrid and gets the hell out of Chelsea so I can really start rooting for him again. Not that I really like Madrid either, but it's not Chelsea, so.
Oh, my Lord. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
they said Hazard wants to come back.
Yeah.
You're on his list of destinations.
Hey, he wanted to leave, so the grass
he wants out. Yeah.
The grass isn't always greener, bud. Sorry.
He's ready.
Maybe join your brother at Dortmund, you jackass.
Yeah.
Get the Hazard brothers there.
I think his brother had a better year than he did, internationally and club-wise.
I would not doubt that.
Yeah.
Any score predictions before we get out of here that you got for me?
Man, I've thought about it. I'm not going to root for City. I'm not going to root for City. I'm not going to do it. You know, my buddy that we're still going to get on the show eventually one day too, former Chelsea academy guy, would be upset with me if I didn't root for Chelsea either. So for the sake of, man, I'm going to say it's going to come down to PKs. I'm going to say it's a 1-1 game, because that's just what Chelsea's given us, even against teams like City that can score. They're just going to – I think it's a 1-1 game through extra time. Maybe 0-0 going into extra time, and both goals are scored in extra time just for some excitement. That would be kind of and Chelsea does it in PKs.
I know. I was kind of thinking the same thing. I feel like cup games can be very boring, and we've seen it. And for some reason, I think it will go into extra time. I don't know if it's going to go into PKs. But I'm pretty close there with you. I think Chelsea win in extra time, just extra time, no PKs, maybe 2-1, a late winner. You hope from Pulisic or somebody. Or you get a late Olivier Giroud send-off goal, and he rides off into the sunset. I don't know.
I'm an Olivier guy. I mean, I wouldn't be upset with that. Or Kai. Maybe Kai just completely rights the ship and gets the game-winning Champions League goal.
I mean, he's played actually not that bad at all the past month.
No, he's played better. We just haven't been on air to talk about it.
Understanding the game and finally adapting to Prem life.
The kid's 20 years old. I was giving him a lot of break. Chelsea fans weren't, but
he'll be fine. It's the other one that worries me.
Yeah. So, Lord, what do you got before we get off here? You got a score for this final? You just made a fun guy for Spurs, Chelsea. I know Chelsea is in London too. It's not the same. There's respect for the organization that Chelsea is. There's no respect for Spuds. Sorry.
More North London thing than more of a London thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, man.
It'll be interesting to see what happens and what everyone else is thinking the score line is going to be.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people riding with probably City somehow pulling it out, and
if you want some fun and you like to gamble, root for Chelsea, bet Chelsea, because as Lord Walker pointed out, they're plus a good chunk of change. So don't go too crazy. Don't lose no house and get mad at us or anything. But if you want to make it entertaining, throw a few bucks on Chelsea and have some fun.
Responsible gambling.
Yeah. We only promote responsible gambling here.
Or you could join the Barstool Sportsbook. Just saying.
Shots fired.
Shameless plug.
Shots fired.
But yeah.
On the way out, man, he did it. I knew he was going to do it.
Oh, he went big time City.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's probably... I couldn't sit here and be like, hey, you're completely off base for thinking one of the most dominant teams of all of Europe this year is going to win 3-1, but he's being more realistic than, I guess, or what he feels is more realistic. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's I don't know if a cup game can go 3-1, but we'll see.
I mean, it can. I don't know. I don't know under Tuchel and the way Chelsea's played defense. I don't think they're letting up 3, to be honest with you.
I don't think so, but that's would be prime time Man City just running roughshod all over them all 90 minutes. Yes, 3-1, but I don't think Tuchel would get those guys not prepared for this magnitude of game. I don't know.
We'll see. We shall see.
Know if Mendy's playing. I don't know what the injury report is on that.
I hope so. I know Eddie doesn't, but
freaking Kepa, that's a different story.
Eddie wants his boy Kepa redeeming himself, so
wouldn't that be the story? The cast-off wins it.
In PKs, too. Wouldn't that just be the super topper?
Guarantee he's not shaking off Tuchel when he gets tried to pull out of the game like he did to Sarri.
Yeah.
That ain't yeah. It's
all right. Well, as we're saying bye-bye, I think it's only right that we do say bye-bye to the 3 teams that are going back down.
Yeah.
We've already
a good yellow card send-off to red card send-off.
Yeah, I'll, how about this? Yellow card will throw towards the teams that are on their way up because now they are on notice. Can you stay up? Because we've seen, the drastic of the guys that just come up and go right back down, like West Brom and Fulham, or the team like Leeds who just stays hot and finishes in the top 10. So everybody coming up, Norwich again, Watford again, and we will know Saturday by about noon who that third team is going to be, whether it's Swansea or Brentford. We'll put them on yellow on notice. Welcome to the league, and
welcome.
You better spend a few bucks, man. I know it's not been an easy year for everybody, but you're going to have to spend a few dollars. You're going to have to find your way to stay.
Our hot bodies and Timo Pukki's are back.
Yes, Timo, pumped. And red card is to the bottom, guys. Fulham, West Brom, and most especially Sheffield United. Bye-bye.
Tough season for all.
Yeah. We may see you back one day, or we may see you playing in Sunday leagues in about 5 years. So you never know. You never know.
It's. I feel like Fulham's good for like 1 year off, 1 year on.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think we've seen the last of Fulham. I don't think we might see the last of Sheffield. I don't know if they can do what they did that year of winning the league and staying up, because last year they were just exposed like terribly and just pathetic all around. I think same with West Brom. I think they had, they got the Pereiras and Dianganas to really step up in their championship run and just overpowered, just overmatched when they came to the Prem, let up way too many goals. But the positive is that Sam Johnstone, facing all those shots, his save average wasn't that bad, and he got an England call-up to the provisional squad for the Euros. So it's a blessing in disguise for him.
Yeah. Way to find one deep
after one
positive in all of that.
Sam Johnstone isn't that bad of a keeper.
There you go.
So
that's a perfect way to end it.
But yes, au revoir to those 3 teams. We may never see you again, or we might see you next season. We're not sure.
Yeah.
And good luck to
Scotty Parker.
Good luck to all the teams, of course. Chelsea, of course. Good luck, City. Swansea and Brentford, and then in the championship promotion final on Saturday. So, again, thanks for everybody for bearing with us for this crazy schedule. We're trying to fit in shows. I know people were asking, when's your next show? When are you going to do it? Like, trust me, we've been trying to fit it in.
It hasn't been without try, trust me.
But we were able to get it in today, so hopefully we'll be back and doing figuring out some schedules for a Tuesday, Thursday, or a Monday, Thursday. Again, I know we got Memorial Day this week, so that's probably going to throw wrenches into more scheduling, but if not, hopefully next Thursday we'll still keep with our schedule.
Yeah, we'll get there.
So, again, thank you, everybody.
All right, brother.
We missed you all terribly, and we will see you next week at some point. Just keep an eye on Kickin' It Stateside and A2D for any show updates. And yes, if you're new, subscribe us at Kickin' It Stateside on Facebook, at K-Stateside on Twitter, at Kickin'_it_stateside on Instagram. And we will see you guys
on YouTube.
Yes, and we will see you guys next week. Enjoy this wonderful, wonderful day, and a happy Memorial Day, everybody.
Yes, sir.
All right. Love you guys. See ya.